as well. So, all right, so let's start recording. And today is Monday, the 17th. So, yay, we finally got another team call. And I'll have to admit, thank you, Jada, for kind of pushing me, because I've kind of been like, well, nobody's been wanting to get on, and kind of making my own excuses. So she told me, she sent me a message, and it meant a lot to hear from you and say that she was missing the call. So that makes me feel good. So I'm glad that you guys want to get on here, and thank you for taking the time out to get on. And for whoever's not on, I totally understand. And I'm, it's just, I don't know how to get a schedule where we can get more people, except to just kind of get more people and record them and share this. So just the couple of notes in terms of like what we have going on. You guys all know the sales. We all know what's on, everything's on sale right now. So that's good. Until the end of October, it will not, for real this time, not be on sale for November, because Court of Force is coming out. So there's no way they'll keep all this stuff on sale. So if you have anybody that's asked questions, let them know. For sure, November, they'll be cutting these prices back up. Success Club 5, I think if you hit Success Club this month, you get a personal development call with like a guru. He's a social media guy, so it's actually, it sounds like it really will be a good call to get on. So that's for Success Club. In terms of groups this month, we have the one that started yesterday. So that's the 7th, started yesterday. So it's a 10-week challenge. So my way of thinking is kind of, we have people starting in it, and as long as they're active and everybody's participating, we keep it going till through the next 10 weeks. If we get more people, we can add them to that group. So it'll kind of be like a somewhat ongoing group, but then we definitely we'll have to see in terms of like people staying active. If people aren't as active as we'd like, then maybe, 1 month, 2 months, we kind of be like, okay, let's move everybody to the ongoing group. Because there's no need for whoever has people in there for us to be posting in like 2 different groups if we don't have people like in both groups. So I say we play that by ear. If they're building a community for themselves and they're happy and we're keeping them engaged, then we keep them separate. And you can add people pretty much to either group right now. So right now, obviously, in the next, probably at least till beginning of November, I would add them to the 10-week group. So I would say up until our next big challenge group, I would add them to that, because those people are just now starting, and some haven't even gotten a program yet. So it'll be a few weeks out before we, people would feel behind. So that's that. There is, in Partnership We Shine, I was like, I think I could use this, so I'm jumping in. And I'm going to start advertising it, because it might be a good thing for us to advertise for the second half of the month. But they're going to do after Halloween 3-day refresh. So I'm going to do it November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I can share some of the photos from our past refreshes, because we have some good success stories from those. So if you have anybody you want to share anything about, after you eat all your candy, you can detox, or before the holidays, if you're trying to fit in a dress, whatever, that's another option. So we're going to do a refresh beginning of November. So that will lead us to the end of the month. So from now to the end of the month, I would continue to, advertise our, I guess we don't want to call it 10-week challenge anymore, but maybe end of the year challenge, and then kind of just keep working on that and the 3-day refresh. And then leading into November with Court of Force. So it's going to come out November 1st. So with that said, by the time people order and get their stuff, I think that we'll probably start a Court of Force test group on November 14th. So that gives us enough time to really make sure we can fill up a test group and get people doing that. I think that we'll get a really good, I think people are going to really like that program. It's totally different than what's come out lately. And so I think that it's going to be really successful. So Core de Force Task Force, November 14th. I thought since we do have a free week at the beginning of November, that week of the 7th or even the 1st, if anybody has any ideas for a free group, we could do like a 5-day something, 5-7-day free group, either starting on like the 1st or starting on the 7th. I know in the past, we've done Planksgiving is what we called it, and it was like a week of planking. I think we did that one obviously closer to the end of the month. So if you guys have any ideas for if you want to do a free group in November, if anybody has any ideas or comes across anything or thinks, I mean, the Crockpot group was great. We had a lot of people, and I know I added a lot of new people from that one, and so that was changing it up, and we got some new people in there. So if you have anything, any ideas, I don't know if we could, I don't know, but we can keep that in mind. But if we want to do it on the earlier end, then we kind of need to start planning it. So I'd say, you know, this week, if you come across anything, and then if not, we'll figure something out by next week. And then I posted tonight, and the event didn't work, so then I created our own event. But Annette from In Partnership We Shine, one of Shalice's partners, success partners, she used to work, I guess, for Joel Freeman at Gold's Gym. So she got in touch with him, and he's going to get on a call for us next Wednesday, the 26th at 9:30. So that's pretty big deal. I've heard him, you know, he's so cute. I really just to be alone. But, you know, it'll be really good. He'll give us some good information on Core de Force and pump us up and get us going. So if you can get on that call, definitely let me know. I made a little invite just for us. It's like our own little event. If you have a coach, you know, share it with them, invite them to that event. So there's 2 posts. I'll delete, you know, I'm going to go ahead and delete the first one so it doesn't confuse everybody. But one of the second post that I created, let me delete the one that's shared. Okay. So I created that. So RSVP to it, so that way as soon as I get the link, and I'll still post the link before we get on that call next week, and I'll keep reminding you guys. But if you can get on, because it's going to be awesome. It'll be really neat to have that call with him. So one more thing, Super Saturday is this Saturday. It's the 29th. So if you can get to a local Super Saturday to you, if you need help finding one, let me know. If you are local in Northern Virginia, there will be one in Springfield. Tanya Barron from T25 and Size, she's going to be there speaking, and then I know there's a few other speakers. I am unsure if I can go because we still have sports and stuff going on. So I might be a last minute. I don't know if it'll sell out or not. But if I can get somebody to handle sports, I might try and go. So they're always great. They're always motivating. They're fun to take people to. People really get excited when they go and get a feel for what the community is like. And you kind of get to do a workout at the end, and they're fun. And they'll probably be revealing something. Not sure what, but at this point, I don't know if they'll maybe share who wins the 20s, because I know voting's starting for that, but that might be not yet, so I don't know. Oh, you know what they may share? We're in November now. They might share where the next year's Success Club trip will be too. So like this year, we're going to Punta Cana, so they might share where next year's will be. So there's always some big, exciting reveal too. So that's all the stuff, the details that I have right now. I just wanted to maybe touch base with you guys and see what you had going on and any questions. And then, we can talk a little bit further. I have something in mind in terms of sharing like some ideas that I have in terms of helping you guys, but I want to hear from you first. Like, where are you struggling? Where do you feel things are going good for you? What questions? Do you have any questions about anything in particular?
Will Core de Force be on Beachbody On Demand or an actual DVD thing?
I believe it's going to be on a DVD package. So it'll be like the newer ones, like Country Heat and all of those. They'll get one on demand. And then in order to get it on demand, you have to buy the, DVDs. But
I feel like everything should come on.
Be solely on demand.
I think it would be easier if they just made everything Beachbody On Demand.
I think they're working on that. I think that they're slowly easing into that. I don't think they want to lose all their DVD fans still. I think they still have some people. And I think there's going to be a way to have to figure out how they do that with payment. Like now it's like a membership for just that, but then you're getting the entire library. So I think that eventually we'll probably end up going towards that. But I don't know how they're going to do it yet. But right now,
they still charge you like a challenge pack, but then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So you have the basic, and then to buy it, you just buy it on there. I mean, that's basically what you're getting, but then you get the DVDs too. It's like bonus, you get DVDs.
But wait, there's more. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Yeah, so, and there's also supposed to be a trial, I think another Core de Force trial. I think it's the 24th. So they'll do another like free try Core de Force sneak peek. So what else you guys got? Questions? Bethany, do you mind if I share what you were telling me?
Oh, no, not at all.
I'm just kidding. We were just talking. She was talking about how she's been struggling a little bit, and she met somebody else who knew another coach who is super bubbly and they're super successful. And her friend was kind of like, I don't know, I don't see you very bubbly. So anyway, but what I was saying was, first of all, about the struggling part, I think that this has been a struggle months and 2 months for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I think one thing that's been huge is the change with with Facebook. I think that's affected a lot of people's businesses because of how they change their formulas and certain things aren't showing on people's posts. So, I think that they're looking for certain words, and if you're posting certain words in your post, I'm assuming sale and all this stuff that makes it that you're selling things, you're not going to be as visible in people's posts. I think that's one problem. I think that the holidays, start of school, all of that, it's a tougher time of year. I know I've gotten a lot of people that are like, well, I want to wait till after the holidays. So I think it's just kind of getting people to realize that we want them to, giving them a reason to start now. But I think in terms of what I was saying before when we first got on was I've been taking a class online. It's a business academy kind of class. And it's focused on women in these kind of businesses. And one of the things that one of the modules they were focusing on is building your niche market and building a market for who you're speaking to. And so I think that I know for myself, like I was saying earlier, is we kind of tend to speak, we want to speak to everybody because we want to have anybody join us. We really, not that we're desperate, but we really do want to just share this, and we're passionate and we want anybody to join us. But I think the problem with that is that we're not finding we're not attracting who we want to attract because of that. So I think that there's a few things you need to figure out in terms of who you're speaking to, and those are the people you're going to attract. And actually, there was a really good quote. I got to find it really quickly. You are a mirror of what you attract. And so that's exactly what, so, and that's what you want, because if you're attracting people unlike you, then when they get in their groups, then they're going to be like, oh, okay, like there's not a commonality there, So one of the things that they mentioned is this what, how, and why. Your what, how, and why, and how to break those down. So these are some things to think about. Your what is kind of like, what is your mission? What activity are you offering? What are you, what's your mission? What are you trying to do? And then I'll give examples in a minute. And then your how is like, how are you going to do that? What is unique about you, and what method are you going to do? And, how are you giving them an advantage above other people that are doing the same thing as you? And then your why is kind of the deep part. Like, what is your inspiration? What is your driving purpose? Like, what are your beliefs? Where is all this fueled from? Like, what do you really want to achieve? And so one of the examples they gave is their what was, I help post-baby moms burn stubborn fat and fit into their pre-baby jeans. So now that's pretty specific. So that's really like, and you don't have to get that specific, but it helps you to understand what that means. So that's your what. So if that were your what, then your how for this person was, she's providing them with 30-minute at-home HIIT workouts. And then the why was to debunk the myth that moms can't get into shape after having a baby, and to show society that, moms are not always have to be frumpy after baby. So for me, I thought a lot about it, and this is kind of my basic, like I have probably a little more work to do on mine, but this is what I came up with today for me, because I'm kind of, I started with what I did was a list of, what they said was your list of expertise. Like, what are you good at? Like, it doesn't have to be Beachbody or all health and fitness, but what are all the, just like when we did our hashtag list, like what are all the things you're good at? So like, are you good at, I don't know, I'll give you some, my examples was like on the go, bargain shopping, time management, fitness and accountability, motivation and inspiration, grocery store finds, kids ADHD, kids activities. So you make this big list. So from there, I kind of found what really attracted me and where do I want to go with it. And so I started with my what being, I help busy women learn to incorporate health and fitness into their on-the-go lives. Because I find that I talk a lot about how I'm always going, this is how I still make life work. And then my how is using at-home workouts, simple nutrition tips and guides, and then total support through our online groups. And then my why would be to help women understand that even when they're busy, they can be healthy and they can find time for themselves and help themselves feel better both inside and out. So, with that alone, it makes me think like, okay, I can start doing my live videos based on like this. Like when I do my little Tasty Tuesday videos, like I try and make it so it's not complicated and that people can do it. So if you can find and it doesn't have to stay this way, like whatever you come up with this week, or for you, Bethany, right now, it's like you're pregnant. So that's maybe what your niche will be. But it doesn't have to stay that way later, I mean, it can evolve into anything. But it just helps you to find who you're speaking to and find your market and find where are all these people that we're looking for. And then once we come up with that. So we figured out, for me, like that crock pot group was perfect because it kind of went together. So like maybe next month I think of a free group that's more same thing, but some, you know, I don't know. I haven't thought of it, but something for that. Or like around the holidays, you know, how do we make life simpler for women on around the holidays, still staying healthy? You know, things like that. So I think if you take some time to really do some of it, like write down what, how, and why, and really kind of try and figure out who you're speaking to. That way, when you're writing your posts and creating your content, you really can talk to them, you know, and then that will attract people more to you because they relate to you. So, kind of was a good segue with what you said, because your bubbly friend is speaking to probably other people like her, you know, and that's great. And let me just say, not sure that your friend I mean, we don't, like, one thing is, like, she may seem successful.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Like, the reality is a lot of people fake it till they make it. So, like, you can really put yourself out there and make yourself seem a lot, like, you know, bigger than you are. So, and I mean, I hope she is. That's wonderful for her. But there's still room for us to be successful, too, in our own way, and being your own person, and that's who you attract, you know? So don't let that bother you. That should not be, you know, you guys all have a lot of whys and whats and hows to share with people, you know, and I think that you can give that to anybody, and those are the people you want with you, the ones that come for it. So you just also have to be consistent, and like I've always said, sharing, especially with Facebook, cutting you basically off from certain things. You have to, like, find new ways to share what you're doing, you know, without it being sales-y, because that's what they're cutting off.
Okay.
What else? Does that make sense? What do you guys think? Do you have any questions about that?
I think one of the other things for me that I run into a lot is about how expensive everything is. And, you know, people just aren't really interested in putting forth that kind of money on a repeated basis, you know, monthly.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you do in situations like that?
Well, there's a few different things. Yes, we all get a lot of that. And I want to always say that it stems from people just not being ready and not seeing the value in what we are offering. So, and I think initially, before we even ever talk about price, we want to show them as much value as possible. So when you're talking about Shakeology and you're sharing how awesome it is, and this is what you get, and this is where, you know, it's loaded with vitamins and minerals and superfoods, and it helps with digestion and lowering your cholesterol, and you don't have to take vitamins anymore. And if you were to go buy all these products in the health food aisle, it would cost you $40 a day rather than $4 a day. So, like, they really need to see what the true value is first. And then once they've seen the truth, like once you've shared that, and if maybe still then they can't afford it, I always am just like, I totally understand. It is a big investment, but I can tell you it's worth it. It breaks down to about $4 a day, you know, and I just, you know, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I can promise you if you try it for 1 month, you don't love it, you can return it, or you can just not get it anymore. But more than likely, I can tell you that at least 80% of the people that I know have loved it, you know? And it does, you know, I think any of you all hesitate. We all hesitated when we first bought it too. And I always tell people, I'm like, I looked at my husband, I was like, I cannot believe I just spent $180 on a workout program. He was like, you better use it. I was like, I know. So everybody thought that, like, and that's what but I did it, and it was best thing that ever happened to me, you know? But I think that it's about people finding the value in it, you know, and really, really asking their questions and making sure you're talking about their goals and how our stuff will help you hit those goals, and getting all of that, like, till they're almost ready to order before you even talk about price. You know, because I think that it's really, and even when you talk about price, yeah, $140 is a lot, but gosh, you get a lot. Like 21 Day Fix, you get a lot with that program. I mean, you get you get a lot, and you don't have to keep getting Shakeology technically. So you're not, it's not like the gym, you keep paying and not use it. Or you go to a Pilates, I've been to Pilates class, those are really expensive, you know, or people are like going to a trainer, that can be very expensive. So this is a fee that, you know, you can do on your own and maintain on your own if you choose to not get the Shakeology. But when it breaks down to it, and when people see the value and start getting the Shakeology, they are like, oh, okay, like, I mean, how many of us go to Target and not spend $120? It's rare. So, like, the reality is people just have to kind of prioritize and balance, you know? So and not everybody has the budget that maybe we have or they have, and that's the reality. And then they have to want it bad enough, and they have to, again, see the value of how much it's going to change their lives. And then when they're ready, they come back, you know? So if after all of that, I've said all of that to them and they just can't, then I'm like, no problem. You know where to find me when you're ready.
Yeah.
You know, and that's okay too.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the biggest objection by far of what you get from people. I mean, and you just got to get used to it. And I can tell you, this has been the hardest month for me probably in a very long time. And it's like, I had somebody be like, yeah, I'm ready, but I already have Shakeology. Okay, that means you already have a coach. Awesome. So, like, you know, it's just like, but I got to keep going. I sat back down today and I sent out my 10, 15 invites, and I followed up with my people as much as I could. And I just keep doing it every day. And I just know that eventually I'm going to get it to where I need it, you know?
Okay.
So,
and what do you do when you send out invites and you don't hear back from anybody?
then I add them to my follow-up list.
Okay.
And I follow up with, I don't know if you've seen there's one follow-up in the Team Limitless that's called Raina Odell's inviting script or something like that. Let me look and see what we have it called. But like, yeah, Raina Odell invite scripts. And I change the wording around, but typically I set, like I'm using Asana, which is I enter in a person's name, I say I invited them, and then I set the date for 2 or 3 weeks out to follow up. So then the next follow-up will be like, hey, I have a group coming up, and then I'll set it for another 2 to 3 weeks, and typically 3, 4, then I either say, do you want me to take you off my contact list? And then they'll come back. So if you follow that script, it helps.
Okay.
I never really technically take anybody off my list. I mean, even if I've checked them off 4 times, then I'll find another way to ask them a different way. But this is all within months. I'm not doing it every month, so I'll ask 2, 3 weeks out, the next 2, 3, then I kind of space it out a little further.
Okay.
But sometimes people aren't what I'm noticing is they're not even always either they haven't always friend requested me, accepted my request, and I thought they had so I may not be seeing my messages. Sometimes they just ignore it until they're ready, and then out of nowhere, there's been a ton of people. I can tell you at least half of the time when I hit Success Club, at least half of them are people I've spoken to for probably 6 months to a year off and on, inviting them randomly. So don't take it as if unless they tell you, no, I'm not interested, that doesn't mean that they're not interested. It just means, and even then, if they say no, not right now, I'm like, okay, no problem. When would be a great time? When would be a good time to follow up?
Okay.
And they'll say, how about in a few months? Or how about after the first of the year? And then I move them to that part of my list.
Okay.
There is one, I am on used Asana, so it's hard for me now because I have my list started on there. But there is a lot of Beachbody coaches have been using something called TeamZ. It's TEAMZY.
Okay.
And supposedly it's a really great way to do like Power Hour and do your follow-ups and invites and track people.
Okay.
I'm just afraid to switch over now that I have mine already started in a place. But I've heard it's a really good one, and it's Beachbody specific. So it might help too with tracking and people that if you're trying to figure out a way to stay organized with your people, that might be a good one to check out.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, I'll be out of probably 10 invites, maybe one person responds.
Yeah. Okay.
It's normal. I mean, if you listen to any like Go for No, or you do listen to any personal development that's specific to network marketing, that's just the numbers. Like you invite 10, you get 1. You invite 100, you might get 5. Like that's just how it all breaks down. So, you know, I found, and I think me and Jada were talking about this, I found that the shorter messages that I send to people, I tend to get a better response, I'm noticing.
Yeah.
Because it's so sad, but our world is so, like, if it's not like a couple sentences, people don't even really want to take time to read it.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So whenever, if I'm like, hey, I have a health and fitness accountability group starting up soon, we're going to the end of the year, would you like, interested in hearing more about it? I tend to get more like yeses than my big spiel of like, you know, something a little bit longer.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jada, what about you? Anything, girl? No?
Not really.
Okay. Rachel, do you have anything you want to share or questions or anything going on?
I don't have any really questions. I've just kind of been, I guess, really busy right after that Crockpot group. So I haven't really reached out to too many people, but I had 2 people reach out to me. So it's kind of like when you're not really focusing on it, they kind of just come to you. But I've still been, you know, posting workouts and sharing motivation, that sort of thing. So it's like they still come to you, you know, they see everything. So
well, and that's part of, and that's what I was telling Chloe today, because I was like, that's part of the seeds that you guys are planting by being consistent. If you're consistently posting and consistently sharing and consistently inviting and sharing what we're doing, then those are all the seeds you're planting. And that's what, now they know to come to you, you know?
Exactly.
So that's great. So just make sure they know that they can come to you. So that's awesome. Yay. Yay. And then make sure you're doing personal development. Because it's really good. It works. I promise. I've been listening. I listened to the National Wake Up Call like last week's, and I was listening this week's. And I'm reading The Miracle Morning, and I have Audible going on. So like I have a couple different things that I listen to, but read a book, do something, because it really does help. It really makes a difference in your motivation and your confidence. Like Jada was listening to Shalene. She's got a lot of really good podcasts on confidence building and, you know, building your business, but she's really good about confidence as well. Like, you know, feeling good and being confident in what you're sharing. All right. Anything else you guys want to ask or share? Or we're about to get cut off, but before we do, I do have a quote if you don't have anything else. Do you guys have anything else? No? All right. So my quote for today is, opportunities don't happen. You create them. You must seize the time and create the opportunity. So now's your opportunity, ladies. So let's do it. And then if you guys have an idea of the free group next month? Like if you come across anything.
Ooh, okay. I think we should do something, incorporate pumpkins into the workouts. That'd be kind of cute.
That'd be fun.
Like, I saw this one guy, I don't know, that'd be kind of complicated, but we could do like an ab workout or leg workout, but you know, your pumpkin is the weight.
Oh, cool.
Okay. All right, well, give it some thought. Give me a fun name, and then we'll talk more about it. We have from now till probably even next week, because we won't advertise it probably till like the end of October. Oh, but pumpkins will be over. We're doing it for November.
I thought pumpkins were like, I don't know, when are pumpkins in season?
Halloween. You carve your pumpkin and then it gets all rotted out.
But all the stuff for Thanksgiving, I mean, in the fall, there's always leaves and pumpkins everywhere.
Turkey.
Squat with a turkey.
We'll give it some thought. We'll give it some thought, Jada. That's a good idea.
How about healthy desserts?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay.